One thing that freshmen might not realize is that you have to earn 30 credits each semester, 60 for the year, and that if you have a failing grade, you will have to make that up either in a future year or summer school. It's really important to pass all classes. One other struggle I see freshmen have, or incoming students, is friend groups will change. That's okay. It's okay if friend groups change because yours will too. Try clubs, join sports, expand your groups. One way you can stay organized is by making sure your files are named properly in Google Drive and that you have a folder that has your 246 classes and your 135 classes. It'll be really easy if everything is separated by day that you need them. How can you catch the Vike Vibe? Get involved. Contact your Link Crew leader. Find out the activities. Follow Link Crew on social media. Follow the high school on social media. If you can't have an account, have your parents follow the account. When you do this, you'll be notified of all of the events and activities that you can participate in. The more you participate, the better it'll be. Sit in Viking Nation. Get loud with the crowd. Hang out with new groups. Link Crew offers freshman sunrise, and in 4 years, you'll do senior sunset. When you participate in these activities, you're making memories that will connect you to the school, connect you to new friends and new experiences. You'll feel like you're part of the Vike Vibe. Go see the school plays when we can in real life. Go to the games, watch the cheerleaders, watch the dance team, go to the pep rallies, do it all. You never know when we'll end up in a position where we can't do anything.
It's time to get back up, climbing and climbing. I'm done with this road.
With is participating in class. Like they don't want to raise their hand and answer a question, and that is where they really struggle. So that's something that I try to push the kids to do is participate more. So in general, I would say that freshmen struggle the most with balancing the expectations of high school classes. Coming from 8th grade to 9th grade can be a difficult transition, and I think sometimes they don't understand that the classes are going to be a little bit more rigorous, and we're going to ask more of our students than is sometimes asked of you at the middle school level. So I think that seems to be the biggest struggle, is just making sure you're focused and organized. As a student in an honors class, just a student who really wants to read and delve into literature on a deeper level. Like hopefully they really enjoy reading and they want to improve their writing skills. The class is a little bit more rigorous and there will be more independent work, right? So instead of us reading the entire book in class, you'll read a portion of it on your own. We like for our students to have a planner and be organized. But I think any student, as long as they apply themselves, can be successful in an honors English class.
Really just to kind of, try different things, obviously they can pick a class that they're interested in. If they're interested in biomed, they can take my class or, but explore a little bit. It does get busier. It gets really busy their sophomore year. So freshman year is a really chance to explore if they want to see what automotive is like, or engineering, or biomed. It's a great year to take an elective. Definitely try to connect with we have Link Crew and but try to connect with the school. It'll make the 4 years just really awesome. You'll have support. You'll have people that you can turn to. Always ask for help. Teachers are always willing to help you out, so don't be shy. And I know it's hard too, but if you need the help, that's what we're here for. Whether if you ask a teacher or another student, so that would be my. She's the one that actually told me all the chemistry, and they're really like, why can't I think of it? So 2 people go in and they go to a restaurant. They order. They ask first what they want, and would you like something to drink? So they're both like scientists, and the waiter actually is really is science knowledgeable. So he asked, the first guy asked, "Oh, I want some H2O," and the waiter's like, "Got it." And then the friend asked, "Hey, I want some H2O too," and so he brings them their drinks, and then the second guy dies.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these
Sure,
walls
although
down.
now, if everything's digital, I guess organize those Google files, make sure you're saving copies of your work, color code things, color code your files so you know which classes are which to pay attention to. Make sure you're saving them. Check emails. Still write things down or learn to use Google Calendar so that you can get additional alerts to when your work is due. To set themselves up for success is to understand that your classes count now for credits and for a diploma and for college. It's unlike when you were in middle school and you kind of were pushed through. So if you already understand that you have to pass your classes with a C or higher, then you'll be successful. And don't let yourself go beyond that C limit. And be sure to go to tutoring, ask questions, ask for help. We have so many resources to make sure you hit your goals. And don't give up on yourself. You can do it. We can do hard things at Downey. Club, join a sport. We have so many things to offer at Downey. If you are interested in, we have botany, we have, automotive tech. All of those are CTE classes. Go to Skills USA so you can participate that way. We have an amazing band and a choir. Again, sports and tons of clubs. So the more involved you are, the more spiritual have, and also the better you'll do in school.
But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go.
Hello everybody, my name is Mr. ARMENDARIZ. I am a high school teacher. I teach world history and AP European history, but I also taught AP Human Geography when we first started the class a few years ago. So I personally love teaching AP classes because it's just a different vibe than the regular college prep classes. In an AP class, you tend to have discussions that are a little bit more advanced. You tend to explore the topics at a deeper issue. So, for example, in European history for 10th graders, for AP Euro, we talk about politics and economics and gender issues and racial issues and so we go into depth about each of the topics. And so I do think that AP kids, because they are brought in and have these kind of conversations that are more in depth, they're able to develop a broader sense of camaraderie, meaning that it almost becomes like a brotherhood and sisterhood with the AP kids. So that, I think, is the advantage of learning in an AP class, is that you go into depth and you build that sense of fraternity with your fellow AP students. Because we have to consider the fact that freshmen might be coming into a hybrid situation next year as well, the school year. We don't really know what next school year is going to look like, but freshmen should assume that we will likely be coming back in some sort of hybrid situation. Regardless, I think it's important, whether people come back in person or virtually, that you get in the habit of keeping a planner. Very, very important. Your brain is able to organize itself so much better when you write something down. And so what I did growing up is I didn't have a planner. I wasn't that organized, but I had little post-it notes. And so on the post-it notes is where I put what assignments were due and when they were due. And so that gave my brain the ability to just take a deep breath and not try to remember everything, because this little post-it note has got my back. And so to me, that's one of the main things. The other thing is AP students in particular, but I think this is true of all students or many students. we tend to be procrastinators, and what that means is we leave the assignments until the last second, until we get that adrenaline rush to then just finish it right before it's due. And unfortunately, I think what you're going to recognize is that just stresses you out, and that puts you in a mindset that you're always trying to keep up and catch up. And so my advice for people is to develop a mindset of trying to plan ahead, so that you're not at the last second doing the last second work, because you can get better grades if you just start the work earlier. And so what that could mean for people is setting aside 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, where you don't do anything but just your work. Because oftentimes we have distractions like our phones, the video games, the television, Netflix, etc., etc. Put it all away, put it all aside, and for just 2 to 3 hours, focus only on your assignments. So that would be my advice. AP Human Geography was one of my favorite classes that I taught in high school. And the reason being, AP Human Geography, it sounds like all you do is just look at maps, which you do look at maps, but we give meaning to life, to the human environment. And so what that means is we analyze how humans over time have developed religions, have developed societies, have developed rules about gender, have developed rules about race, have interacted with each other politically, economically, and we trace it not just in the United States and not just in Europe, but all around the world, which is, to me, AP Human Geography is one of the most meaningful classes you can take, because it opens your eyes to the full human experience of not just the white Europeans, but the whole world. And so, to me, AP Human Geography gives you a little bit of perspective and compassion and empathy more than I think any other class that you're going to take in high school. And in addition to that, AP Human Geography is fast-paced. So that means it's an AP class. You're going to have to do a lot of reading, a lot of writing, but it also serves as kind of like a stepping stone to the more difficult classes that you're going to have sophomore year, junior year, senior year. So AP Human Geography, if you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm a very curious person, I like learning, and I don't know if I want to be an AP or not, give AP Human Geography a try. And if you end up liking it, and if you end up surviving the class, that's going to help you then be better prepared for future AP classes. So I highly, highly recommend AP Human Geography.
The Vike Vibe.
Yes. I got to start this conversation with me saying that when I was in high school, I was what you'd consider a loner. I was that depressed, anxious kid who felt like he didn't fit in to the high school culture. I would sit alone, and looking back, I missed out on a lot because of that. So I would encourage everybody to try your best to do something different. I know that many of people that are in high school develop anxiety, depression, and that leads to people feeling like they don't belong, that they shouldn't be involved in things. And I would just encourage you to do your best to put yourselves out there, to be a little vulnerable with other people. And how you can do that is find a club. There are all sorts of clubs in Downey. Like literally we have dozens of clubs. And so, we have clubs from like the makeup club to the gamers club, to the anime club, to the chess club. And so there's all sorts of clubs. We have a baking club right now. So my advice to you is push yourself to be a little bit outside of your comfort zone. And I think you're going to find a community of people that do make you feel like home at Downey. And if at the end of the day, you still feel like you don't quite belong in the general culture of Downey, at least you find a pocket of people who are your community that make you feel good, that make you feel like you fit in. I love Downey. I think that Downey High School has a great culture. I think that we've developed a culture where the community really cares about students. So Downey Link Crew, for example, is going to welcome you as a freshman into Downey, and they're going to start building those kinds of relationships where they say, hey, you are a part of the Downey family. So give it a try. Don't be too jaded. Don't don't psych yourself out before you give it a chance. So give it a chance, and I think you're going to find that Downey has a lot of loving people that want to build community with all sorts of people. We do value diversity, and we're going to continue to value diversity. One to add is when you get to high school, because it's much bigger than your middle schools or your elementary schools, I think you might start getting that feeling of being lost. And I think oftentimes people can, as I talked about earlier, you can join clubs to kind of feel like you fit into a smaller community of people. But what I would encourage every single freshman out there is to recognize that you have a voice. And because you have a voice, it's your privilege, and I think it's your responsibility to use it. So if you are going through class and there's something that doesn't make sense, be encouraged to speak up and ask and build that relationship with the teachers. If you notice that there's something that's not right about the school culture, or there's something wrong that's happening, be encouraged to speak up to an adult. It could be the principal, your counselors, whatever. If you're going through any sort of mental health issues, which most people in high school go through, speak up and talk to an adult, because I promise you there are so many adults in Downey that are truly caring. They care about your mental well-being, your physical well-being. So speak up until you find somebody that really is there to stand up for you. So my advice to freshmen is recognize that you have a voice, use it, and continue to advocate for yourself so that you can have a much better experience, and you can give a much better experience to your peers in Downey High School.
Then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go.
I think every day make sure you have everything in place in your backpack, right? And so your agenda should have information on what to do every day. You should have, I like different folders for different subjects. Some people like one big binder, that's fine, but you got to keep everything organized, because the frustrating thing is when a teacher asks you for something, you're like, well, I think it may be here, right? And it's an assignment from yesterday, right? And so those types of things of just having, wherever you put math, wherever you put, science, put science, and just being organized on a daily basis will just be so much easier for your anxiety as a freshman coming in, because it's a big campus and a very big school population. I think we're 11th biggest in the nation, and so I think overall, if you just have stuff in the right spots, or in a spot, that would be good. The big thing is get involved. There are so many different things going on campus. Campus is like 4,300 students, so it's huge, and it's overwhelming at times. You will find something you're interested in. Our esports won a championship this year, very exciting. My good friend, Mr. Beaver, I think Mr. Krause was the other coach of those teams, right? So if you're into video games, do that. If you're into politics, there's poli-sci. If you're into sports, obviously great sports programs. If you just want to be part of going to the football games, going to sporting events, helping, right? ASB is fantastic. You want to help with giving out to the community. Kiwanis Club, Key Club, they're available, right? So there is something for you. You have to get out of your comfort zone and maybe go and meet new people, right? But there's someone who has an interest just like you. And so it's so important to be involved in something. It doesn't have to be a lot, but be involved in something, and then all of a sudden your interests with other people are going to be able to make friends that way. I think that's huge. So student athletes, I was a student athlete in high school. I played 4 sports. I've been a coach on campus. I coached at Downey for 4 years. I'm now coaching at Orange Coast College. The biggest thing is show up and try every day, right? Those are the expectations. When you're tired, you guys still got to show up and try. When it's game day, you still got to show up and try. When you're playing the rival across the street, show up and try. There's not days you can take off, because when athletes take days off, they get behind. And when you get behind, struggles happen. And it happens pretty easily. right? You're going to be challenged as a student athlete as far as organizing your time and balancing sports, academics, and then social, right? You got to have some type of social involved, even if it's just family. There has to be a balance, but show up and try every day, and you'll overcome a lot of the issues that will be happening